Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I appreciate you joining me for this midweek uh, break to come together. This is my weekly style snack. I do these every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And today's style snack is a little different. It's not one of my normal topics, and it's also it's hard. This is hard for me. This is um, this is hard to talk about. It's hard to share, and uh, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. So I appreciate your patience if I do. Um, I have over the last about 10 years, I've experienced hair loss 3 different times. And I don't mean just like a little bit here and there. I mean my hair coming out in handfuls and uh, losing at least half of my hair. And the first time, I used to like my hair. I thought I had good hair. Like I didn't have mermaid hair. I never had those thick, glorious locks that women envy. And I don't think you ever would have pinned my hair on Pinterest or anything, but I liked it. And looking back now, I can say I love my hair back then. I wish I had it. And these last few weeks, I've been using this software to stream this so that I could do some screen sharing. I've been practicing this morning my screen sharing, so I hope this goes off well. But I have this picture here. These are pictures from about 11 years ago, and that's what my hair thickness was before. Um, it was enough. It was good. That I had enough hair. I could style it pretty much any way I wanted to. My yeah, I mean it was good. I liked it, and it was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago this summer that I experienced my first hair loss. I didn't experience any hair loss with my first 2 pregnancies. I did but that was 4 babies. And so when I had my fifth, I did experience my first hair loss in large quantity, but it was normal postpartum hair loss. Um, I was really upset about it, but it wasn't the worst hair loss I've ever had. I did not know that then, and it was pretty upsetting. No one ever told me that would happen, and it didn't happen with my first 4 babies, so it was a surprise. But it did grow back in the normal postpartum hair loss recovery that most women experience. And the second time my hair fell out was nearly, it's been about 6.5 years ago after my sixth baby was born, but I lost a lot more. I lost about half of my hair. And it didn't come back. Uh, and it didn't come back, and it didn't come back. And I spent several years trying to figure out what was wrong. And finally, after several years of working on some health issues, my hair did grow back in, but it wasn't as thick as it was before the initial hair loss, as those pictures I showed you. And it wasn't. I was also, so when my hair fell out again this summer, my hair started coming out in handfuls in July, and I was so upset. And on top of that, I was growing out a pixie, so my hair was all these different lengths. And like this, the earpieces, were shorter than the front, and my bangs. Anyway, so on top of growing out this awkward haircut, my hair was falling out in chunks. Oh, I didn't want to do this. I don't even have any tissues. My daughter used the last one yesterday. It fell out mostly here in the front and on my crown, right where you can see it. And I cried buckets. Within 3 weeks, half of my hair, half of what hair I still had from before it was gone. And on the one hand, I was devastated. On the other hand, I felt so dumb for being so upset about it. But I know I'm not the only woman to experience these feelings. It's so, you can't hide it. I mean, you can do some things to hide it, but unless you're wearing a hat or a scarf all the time, everyone can see it. I started sitting at the back row in church so no one would see the back of my head. Creatively parting my hair to cover the worst parts. I have a spray that you can use to fill it in. I use a lot of hair boosting, volumizing products. And I went and got hair extensions because I couldn't deal with all the uneven lengths and my hair falling out. And I got my extensions taken out about 3 weeks ago because the hair has all evened up. And I had a love-hate relationship with the extensions. I miss them and I'm glad they're gone. So we can talk about that another day. But that was the thing that I did to immediately make myself feel better. But I have some, hold on, I have some other pictures I was going to show you to show you the hair loss in its stages. Let's see. How do I'm trying to switch pictures. Hello. Oh, tissues on demand. Thank you. Let's see if I can switch these pictures. Because I have to take pictures for my job, right? I have documented proof of it. So this is what my front of my hairline, and I wasn't planning on sharing this with anyone ever, so I don't have great before pictures like documenting everything along the way, but this is just right before it started, my hairline, and then my hairline started to look like this. You can see it started falling out here. This whole section fell out. This fell out, and it did the same thing on the other side. Here you can see the hole got bigger, and you can see my hairline. My part is getting wider. I will show you this. This is a little video that, anyway, this was at my stylist. I was sitting in the chair. This is with 3 weeks of my roots growing out. You can see they're a little lighter. They're lighter here. And I asked him to video something to show me how he was doing something, and I couldn't see it very well, and I wanted to be able to remember when I got home, so I asked him to use my phone to video it. And when I saw the video, when I got home, I bawled. So this is a screenshot of the back of my hair. Here's my crown and part and it does have some root grow out. And today my roots are grown out at this exact same point. It's been 3 weeks since I got my roots done. So this is the same grow that I have now. When I'll show you what it looks like now. Anyway, so this was within 3-4 weeks. This is what happened. It was fast. So I was doing all these things to try to make my hair look as less bad as possible. It, you know, I have to take pictures every day. That's hard. I hate having to do it. I stand. I always stand so that the bang side is more toward the camera instead of this side where you can see the holes. Sorry. I never tip my head down in the pictures, so you can't see my part. I'll show you the video. It's like 18 seconds or something. But this is him showing me how he was doing something in my hair, and you can see that this is that same. I screenshotted from this video, but you can see how sparse my hair is on top. And the point of the video was not to show that. It was to, I mean, like that's the whole front section of my hair he's got wrapped around his 2 fingers. Anyway, it was, it's kind of that thing we're going through now, right? Where we're all having a hard time with various things, and it's easy to say, I shouldn't be upset about this because someone else has it worse than me. You know, I shouldn't be upset about this hair loss when other people's hair loss is worse, or they're experiencing like real tragedies in their lives. But this is something I am going through, and it is hard for me, and that's okay. So having gone through this before, on a long-term scale, I couldn't do it again. I couldn't go years and years like that again. And so I started researching and looking at what all my options were. There were, there's the topical treatments, and I talked all this through with my stylist. You know, what are my options? And he was like, well, you've got these treatments, but it does leave your hair sticky and kind of gross, and you have to use it for life, or any growth that you do get will fall out if you stop, and I don't think you'll like how your hair feels and looks when you try to style it, and doing that forever. I didn't want to do that, and also I with all the health struggles that I have gone through, I have permanent liver damage from the triplet pregnancy. My body doesn't, my liver doesn't filter well, and so I have to be careful. I have to be selective about what I put on my skin, on my hair, in my body. That was part of the health problems that I discovered a few years ago, and putting more, I wear makeup and I use all kinds of hair products now, but adding even more on top of that, I just wasn't excited about adding more to the load of my body's my liver, of what it would have to filter out. And I mean, I even looked into cadaver hair transplants. That sounds really sick, but like I was looking at a lot of things, and there's still some things that I still look at different things to help just with the appearance, but I did find something to use that has helped. And because I have gone through this so many times, and I've seen that those aren't the only 3 times. There were 2 other times along the way that weren't as drastic, but I've seen how the hair growth process, regrowth process can be. And so I have a lot of perspective of how fast and how much can and does come back. And I don't, like I said, I don't have super fantastic before pictures, because the last thing I wanted to do was take pictures of how much my hair had fallen out. And I had no intention of sharing that with anyone, but I have gotten good results from this. And so I feel like I have to share with you, because if your heart hurts too, I want you to know there's something you can try. So the thing I ended up trying, it's called a Hairmax, and it's a laser band, and I have been using it for 6 months, almost to the day. And I do have a lot of hair growing back in, and I'll show you the best before and after I can, just because this was not in the plan 6 months ago or 4 months ago, or anyway, hello puppy. Oh, my dog just wandered in because my daughter left the door open. So this is the screenshot from that video, and this is this morning. I tried to make it as similar as I could. It's the exact same amount of regrowth. So this is 3 weeks of regrowth in my roots. My hair is pretty silver. And I had, I sat in front of the window here next to my desk to get as good lighting as I could. This was in my hairstylist's studio here, with whatever lighting they have. And then this is today, just this morning. Here's, you can see my root line here from my roots, and you can see it right here as well. But if you look at and I did nothing, like I didn't even look at the back of my hair before I had my son take these pictures with my phone. I did not strategically move my hair in any way. I washed my hair yesterday and blow dried it yesterday. And so all I did was just touch up the curls a little bit in the front. So all I did to my hair today was brush it, and I haven't even looked at the back of my head. So I didn't strategically place anything in either of these pictures, but you can see I have more hair here for sure. And my part is not as wide anymore. And that's after 6 months of using it. And I can tell you the other times my hair fell out, I did not have that much hair regrowth after 6 months. I probably had more hair loss possibly this time than I did the other times. But it is coming back in, and I am continuing to use it, and I'll tell you more about it and what it does. I'll leave this picture up for just a little bit longer so you can take a good look at it. I some of you are new to me, and but I hope those of you who are not new to me know that I'm extraordinarily selective about what I share with you. And I only share things that I have really tried and tested. And that sharing this with you was so hard. I would only share it with you if I uh, knew I was getting good results from it. So, there's no editing in either of these pictures. No, I just tried to do it as close as I could. But every time I go, so I also go get my roots done at my stylist every 3 weeks, because with as thin as my hair is, because my roots in the front of my hair are almost entirely silver, the back not really, so I can't really grow out my silver, but it makes me look even more bald. So after 3 weeks, I'm in the chair every 3 weeks to get my roots done, to just try to get as much coverage as I possibly can, and minimize any look of not having as much hair as I possibly can. So every 3 weeks when I go get my hair done, I grill him. Do you see any hair coming in? Where's it growing in? Show me the baby hairs. Show me the baby hairs. I want to see the baby hairs. He's so patient with me. I can imagine how annoying that is. But he's very patient with me, and he takes like 5 minutes every time to show me where the hair is growing in. So I'm going to do that for you now the best I can. And the first thing, well, I'll show you this first, but so I'll start here. This whole section here fell out. All of this fell out. You see all of these baby hairs? I'm going to turn this light up a little too high so that you can see, but to try to show you as well as I can. All of this is new. All of this. Oh, not there. All of these short hairs here. This whole triangle fell out. And you can see all of this growing back in. It's the same on both sides. And I've got all these baby hairs here coming in. It was the worst in the corners. But it was all along the front too. And then I'm going to have to shift my screen so I can see what I'm actually showing you. You can see this side is actually the worst side, and that's why I switched what side I part my bangs on based on which side looks better or worse at any time. I think you can see it better on this side, but this side is the worst side, I think. All of these baby hairs, that's new. All of that was gone. And the reason I took that after picture of my crown is because I don't think there's a good way for me to show you my crown in the camera here, but that's all new. All of that was gone, bald, totally bald there. And then I'm gonna see if I can do this. I don't have a white backdrop to make this easier to see, but well, I'll show you the picture first. I took a picture so that you could see it better. I took this picture just right before we started. Do you see this halo right here? It's like a swarm of gnats around my head all the time. They're always there now, but that's a good thing because those are all the baby hairs growing in. And they're kind of annoying, but I'm totally okay with it because that's new hair coming in. And you can see about the length that they are right here. There's the end of one. And so I'll do what he does to try to show me what my hair is doing. But because my hair is dark and behind me is dark, you may not be able to see it as well. So when he does it in the chair, in the mirror, let's see if I shift this way, it helps. There you can see my swarm of baby gnats around my head. So he'll lift up my hair like this. Let's just do this little section right here. I'll take the comb. I'll slink down in my chair too. So you can see there, here it's thicker, and then it starts to thin out. And I don't have any layers in right now. I had him cut it straight across because I need all the thickness I can get at the bottom, or I'll have super even wispier ends. But you can see that like right here, it starts to thin out more. And then this is so fine. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but he'll just kind of tease these little babies out. I'm not good at, I clearly did not go to hair school. See these guys right here? This is my new hair coming in. These short guys. And I've been growing out my bangs too. I look better with bangs. I have a gigantic forehead. I've always liked how I look with bangs better. But I've been growing out my bangs to try to cover these empty triangles here. Like I don't have any extra hair to spare in bangs, and it had gotten and because it had so much had fallen out, I needed to start my bangs clear back here to get enough to make it look like bangs. You know what I mean? And so I've been growing out my bangs to just add thickness. And then this is the top. I can't see what you're seeing, so I hope you can see something because I'm looking down. But anyway, I've got a swarm of gnats all over my head all the time, and I'm okay with it. I'm like Pigpen from Charlie Brown, but it's okay because that means my hair is growing back in. And once they get a little longer, they'll lay down. But right now they're just at that weird length that they don't lay down. I mean, I'm just not that talented when it comes to hairstyling and stuff, and I didn't do anything. When I took this picture, I hadn't done anything to my hair. I just turned, faced this window here to my right, and held up my camera and took the picture. So I didn't try to smooth it down. I didn't try to fluff it up. That's just what it looks like. And when I take my outfit pictures and I'm doing them more up close to the camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, lay down, guys. But they don't. And I don't edit them out. I just don't. It's just because that's just what my hair looks like. So there they are. All my little fuzzies. They're the worst up here, but they're always floating out around here too. From about here up. There they are. They're there, and I'm okay with it. It's a sign of good things happening. So, the thing about hair loss that is so hard, well, there's a lot of things about it that's really hard. One is that you can't hide it. I mean, guys, I know it's hard. There are a lot of men who struggle with it, and it's heartbreaking for them too, but it's kind of, not expected, but it's fairly normal for it to happen to men. Is it a bummer? It totally is. And I get it. It stinks. But they can wear ball caps. Like, it happens to men. I think it's a lot harder as women. We don't wear ball caps. And hair is very much part of your look and your style. And you can't hide this. You can do things to make it look less bad. And I have some tips about that I can share a different day. But if you don't, like, if if you don't like that your bum has gotten flabby, you can do squats. You can do something about that. Hair loss, you feel so helpless. Like, I can't make my body grow the hair back. Like, I can't will it into being. I can sculpt and tone, my arms, but I cannot make this happen. And it's so slow. It's so slow to make it happen. Your hair, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of science, but all of your hair is not growing at all the times. It's like the world's slowest relay race. This section, these hairs grow and then they go into a resting phase. And another section, group of hairs grow and they go into a resting phase. And so when you start your hair regrowth, not all of your hairs start growing back at the same time. And so it's like, it takes forever. It takes forever. And that's why, I waited 6 months. Well, it's been 6 months. 2 weeks after I got it, I wasn't on here saying, hey guys, guess what I've got? And do you want to try it too? No, it's been 6 months, and that is a great amount of time to have. And it's heartbreaking on the one hand, like I have to wait 6 months to get some. But it's just the honest truth. Like, it just takes a long time for hair to grow. And then I've got more hairs that are coming in, right? I've got the ones that are my super shorties here, but I've got some longer ones too that have been growing longer. But this is the worst of it. That's the worst. And so I decided I was willing to do, like, there was a lot I was willing to do to make my hair grow back. I didn't want the sticky and the chemicals if I could avoid it. So I did do a lot of research, and I did discover Hairmax, and I'll show it to you. This is it. My kids ask me what this is when I use it, and I tell them it's my mind reading helmet. And they say, no, it's not. And I'll go, well, I can read your mind right now. And they're like, what am I thinking? I'm like, you think that I'm fibbing about being able to read your mind. And they'll go, or I'll say, you think I look really silly with this on my head. That's what you're thinking. And they're like, oh. So, if you want to get a little voodoo going with your kids, this will do it. So this is the Hairmax Laserband 82. This is, I think, their best product. I bought this myself with my own dollars. I didn't talk to the company at all when I bought it. And I bought this. This is their Accelerate Hair Booster and Nutrients. And so the benefits of this is it's super lightweight and easy to use, and it's fast and it's comfortable. And I'm not a scientist. I can tell you what it does from my, just what I've read is it has these lights in it. So I'm going to turn this desk light down now so you can see this a little better. So it's got these red lights in there, and they deliver therapeutic light energy directly to your hair follicles. And there are 82 medical grade lasers in here to cover your scalp. They have another one that has fewer lights, and so it just takes a little bit longer to use it. Oh, did you hear a buzz? That's my 30-second timer. It means I'm supposed to move it. I'll show you how I use it in just a second. And according to what their website says, the average results are an increase of 129 additional new hairs per square inch after 6 months. So I have not counted the additional new hairs per square inch on my scalp, but I think we can all agree there's a lot of stuff happening here. And when this gets longer, like the whole front section of my hair here fell out, on top of already growing out a pixie and having bangs. Like, it was bad. It was so bad. I hid it well. It looks a lot better in pictures than it did in real life. And even in real life, on the days that I really put effort into hiding it, I did okay. And then I'll show you how to use it. So it just has this button here. You turn it on, the lights come on. Well, actually, the first thing I do, I'll start at the beginning. I wash my hair. I get out of the shower, and then I use this, and I pump it into my hands, and I do this with my fingers, and then I run it through my scalp like this, and I probably use 3 or 4 pumps. And I really make sure I focus it down my hairline here, and the triangle here, and on this side, and then I really make sure I get it good on the scalp and just across the top of my head. But I just kind of run my fingers through like this and rake it through, you know, and then I get this out and I turn it on. You just press the button here. I put it here like this. So like, I do not want to miss any of my hairlines. So I set it, I don't work for them, you know, so these could be the wrong instructions, but I want it to hit everything, like this stuff here. So I set it kind of forward onto my forehead, and then I turn it on, and after 30 seconds, it'll vibrate and go zzz, and then you know it's time to move it. And then I slide it back, and it's got these teeth, and you slide it on like a headband. Oh, that also gives you a good view of my stuff here. Here and here. There, I should have done this in the first place. And it parts your hair for you so the lasers can get to it. Oh, it just beeped. And so then you slide it back again. So they have you do 1, 2, 3. Because I'm experiencing hair loss all over my head. Like, it's in the back here. After I do it, so I go 1, 2, 3, and then I do 4, and I center it right here on my crown. And then each one of those is 30 seconds. And then I lift my hair like this, and I do it here at the base of my skull because I have a patch there that's gone. It's hidden because of the length of all the layers, and like, I don't put it up or anything. And so I do it there, and then I slide it up one more time to get the back of my scalp. So I basically do my whole head. Their thing focuses on the top, which if you're a man, that's where most of your trouble is going to be, right? And you're supposed to do this 3 days a week. I can say I usually do it 2 days a week because that's how often I usually wash my hair. And then you just press the button twice to turn it off. Look at that volume. I should start fixing my hair with it. Just kidding. So honestly, I usually wash my hair only 2 times a week. So I use this 2 times a week. Even better results if I used it 3 times a week. But that's just with using it 2 times a week. There are other things that they have that you can use. When I reached out to them about 6 weeks ago because I wanted to get a discount code for you. So I reached out to them, and they sent me their hair line and the towel. So these things and they sent me another one of these. So the shampoo, the conditioner, this Accelerate Booster, and this overnight infusion for healthy scalp and hair, and the towel they sent me for free. I have not been using these products or these for very long, so I honestly can't say how much of an impact they've had. Really, the results that I'm speaking to. And then anyway, we got it. It came while I was out of town. I have only used the shampoo and stuff a few times because it all kind of arrived right when I sprained my ankle, and then blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so what I'm telling you today is from using this and this. I can tell you these smell good, but I haven't used them really to be able to say, yes, you should definitely get these as well. And then I do love the towel though, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So their hair therapy regimen is supposed to also increase and stimulate your scalp and hair growth and scalp health, and also it's also supposed to help with volume, I think. But I don't know enough about these to really be able to talk about them. This is a treatment you put on at night. I've done it a couple of times, and I kind of do it the same way as I do this. And it's really thin, it's not goopy at all, and it doesn't make my hair goopy the next day. But the towel I can talk about because I've used it a lot and I really like it. It dries your hair, it absorbs water super fast. And even if you don't have this particular problem and you want to shorten your hair drying time, this sucks so much water out of your hair. So when I get out of the shower, I wrap my hair in it. And I had another hair twisty towel thing, specifically like a microfiber one, and this pulls so much more water out of my hair so much faster. It really shortens my hair drying time, which is really good because it reduces the damage being done to your hair with extended blow drying. And it saves me time because, you know, I'm all about getting dressed and ready as fast as possible. My hair is already suffering enough. I don't need it to be breaking off from heat damage. And so I really appreciate how quickly that dries my hair. In fact, my son was giving me a hard time like all teenage boys do, and saying that he didn't need to shower in the morning. And his excuse was, it's too cold and my hair is wet. And I go to the bus stop and I'm like, oh, well, I can help you with that. Here, use my towel. And it sucked up a lot of the water out of his hair. And he's like, thanks. You're welcome. Now, shower every morning. Thank you. So who is this for? It's been FDA cleared for men and women in early to moderate stages of hair loss. So that's me. It's also the only non-drug treatment for postmenopausal hair loss, offering full scalp coverage. I am not in menopause. I think I'm probably in perimenopause. I won't get into the details of why I think that, because that's TMI, but I'm definitely on that path now. I don't know if that has anything to do with why my hair is falling out. The doctor was like, it just happens. You're 43. It's probably perimenopause. I'm like, that's so unhelpful. She was not nearly as upset about this as I was. So I didn't get any help from her. So I can give you links to get more information to do your own research. It has a ton of reviews. I also know women who've tried it, and that was why I was willing to try it myself. And I'm sharing it with you because it's helped me. And I think I'm done crying. Like, I've got a handle on it now. It was hard for me to share this with you today, and I hope it helps someone. And I do have a 10% off code that I'll share here. And I'll put links to everything so that you can get one if you want to. You can try the different, look at what their different options are. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry this was all like jumpy and bouncy, and this is hard for me. I wrote out my, I always write out my outline and my script for these things, but I had a hard time following it because, and I practiced my pictures and everything, but because this is hard. This is hard for me to talk about. It's really emotional, and so I wasn't very eloquent, but I hope you can sense my authenticity in sharing. So I'm going to look at the questions and comments and try to do this quickly because this has gone longer than I intended. Maddie says, we gotcha. I appreciate that, Maddie. I know you do. And that's why I felt able to come on here and share this. Melinda says, it's okay. We're here for you. This must be when I was bawling. Thank you, Melinda. Sharon says, Hashimoto's thyroiditis wreaked havoc on my hair. I agree. Hair struggles are upsetting. I'm sorry, Sharon. I'm sorry that you've had that. Maddie says, so many of us know your pain. You can cry. I did. Maddie, I'm sorry that you've had to deal with this. I'm sorry that anybody has had to deal with this. And I hope you know it's okay to feel sad about it. Angie says, I'm so sorry and it's okay to be upset. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. I'm hard on myself, and I have a hard time giving myself permission to get upset about things sometimes and to feel sad. Elizabeth says, you show great courage showing up as you did. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. So some of you, this will show up. It won't show me your name. It'll just say Facebook user. This Facebook user says, this is a weird topic for me right now. It's not pregnancy related for me, but ED and thyroid related, which I never admitted to myself. I'm over here crying with you. I will never complain about the thicker hair I used to have. Hugs, hugs, hugs. I know it. I know this. I thought it was just age related. Then I had to face the cold truth. I'm crying with you. I'm sorry that you're going through this too. And I'm sorry I made you cry. I hate crying. Angela says, hi. Melinda says, your daughter is adorable. Oh, she is, and she knows it. So I just want to eat her up sometimes. Susan says, you're perfect. Well, Susan, I'm far from perfect, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I do try hard to love myself as I am, but this is just, this is hard. Pat says, I've been losing my hair in the same spot. Pat, I'm sorry. I just know that's hard. Abby says, me too. I'm just trying not to cry again. Angela says, you're a beautiful woman inside and out. Angela, thank you. I appreciate that. And, you know, I still have that battle. Other women are struggling with much harder things, but this is still hard for me. Some Facebook users say, hi, April. It's okay. We're here for you. Thank you. Maddie wants to give me a big hug and tell me it'll be okay. I'm getting lots of virtual hugs. Thank you. Another Facebook user says, it's crazy the thick hair I used to have and never knew what I had. Yeah, that whole retrospective. Mine wasn't crazy thick, but it was good. It was good enough for me. I am not going to read. There's so many comments here, just reaching out to me that I so appreciate, and I'm reading each one of them. But because I've gone so long, I'm not going to read all of those out loud. I'm going to stick to the questions and the comments. This Facebook user says, I don't know if it's new growth or new breakage. It's been going on for years now. What I've been doing is sardines, multivitamins, and biotin, as weird as it sounds. The weird thing about biotin is it really only does you any good if you already have a deficiency from malnutrition. Yeah, I haven't done sardines, but I've been taking biotin, MSM. Like, I could list all the things that I've been doing for years that didn't help. I take collagen every day, biotin, MSM. Oh yeah, I take a ton of stuff, and it didn't keep my hair from falling out again last summer. I know it works great for some people, but it didn't do it for me. Marty says, I appreciate your courage. This would have been such a comfort to me when I lost mine from treatment. No worse feeling than seeing it in handfuls in the shower and repeating to yourself, it's only hair, it's only hair. I'm sorry, Marty. I've done that. Pat says, I just started red light therapy. I'm hoping it works. I hope it does too. And if, tell me, I'd love to hear down the line in 6 months or so what it does. This Facebook user says, I have a ton of product in my hair right now. 2 liver issues, diabetes, 1 suck. Also not an everyday shampooer, but a vigorous brushing a few times a day seems to be helping. Oops, it bumped. My leg hair stopped growing. Again, just figured it was age, but no, and came back recently, so that gives me hope. Yeah, if my leg hairs fell out, that'd be awesome. If I could choose which hairs fell out, those would be the ones. But it's great that that's growing back, so that does sound like something is changing if it's coming back there. Maddie says, I call that baby hair my halo. That's nicer than swarm of gnats, isn't it? Maybe I'll start saying that. Facebook user says, yes, I see it. I hope that's what mine is. So you can see all my baby hairs. Patty says your baby hairs are filling in nicely. And Patty is a hairstylist, so she knows her stuff. Another Facebook user says, I actually did go to hair school and I'm still like, WTF is happening. Well, that's good. You're another qualified person to comment. So I'm, that's good. That's good that you think so too. And my stylist is like, this is coming in a lot faster than it ever has for you because he has been with me through all of these. Well, not for the very first one 10 years ago, but he's been doing my hair for over 6 years. So he's been with me through all of these hair fallouts and regrowths. And he's also saying this is a lot better. Another Facebook user says, look, since we're here, will you talk more about how your exercise routine was killing you in more detail sometime? Oh, you're talking about my adrenal fatigue. I can talk about that another day. Yeah. This Facebook user says, I need to focus more on internal nutrition, I think. Yeah, I do that too. Like, I've been on this whole health. Like, I was very, very, very sick up until a couple of years ago. So the whole health and nutrition, I already do that. I've been on a very long health journey, and a lot of great things have happened. And that was part of how my hair grew back. A lot of what it had to do with my hair growing back the last time. But I was still doing those things and my hair fell out again. So I hope that the nutrition does everything for you. But for those that it's not, this is something else that helps. A lot of people saying thank you. Thank you for taking the time to share your experience and what has worked for you. I really appreciated it. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Alice says, thank you. That came from the heart. Brenda says, feelings are neither right or wrong. It's what you do with those feelings. I know, but anyway, it's easier to, I could say the exact same thing to someone else and mean it 100%, but when it comes to myself, I'm always a lot harder on myself. Another Facebook user says, April, I've been experiencing this as well in the exact same triangle area. I've been taking collagen twice a day and it's helped some, but this may help boost the hair growth. I've been taking collagen, a lot of collagen every day for 2 years. So I already do all that and it still fell out again. And I can't honestly 100% tell you why. Vivian says, I wonder if this would also work on eyebrows. You had mentioned you used something on eyelashes. Oh, so my eyebrows also fell out several years ago. And if your eyebrows fall out, that's typically an iodine deficiency. I'm not a doctor and this isn't medical advice. So talk to your own doctor about it. But if you read online, it's usually an iodine deficiency and it's related to thyroid problem. So my thyroid was a mess when my eyebrows fell out. And I started taking iodine and they came back. I wrote a blog post about that. I can share that with you. But I wouldn't do this on your eyebrows. And for my eyelashes, I use Rodan & Field's Lash Boost. And I can give you a link to that. Castor oil, I tried that. It didn't work. Judith says, tears are good. I've been there. I love seeing baby hairs coming through. I use a salt and vinegar hair scrub, giving my scalp a better chance to sprout more hair. Well, I have never heard that one. That's a new one to me. Thank you, Judith, for sharing. Alice says, I've read that dry shampoo can be very damaging. Have you heard this? Well, there are a lot of different types of dry shampoo out there, and quality does matter. And I've not had a lot of trouble with breakage. I've been using dry shampoo for years. So that's not what caused it for me. And I'm still using it. I haven't done much research in that, but I've used different ones that I'm like, oh, my hair feels so crispy, and others that my hair feels really nice when I'm done. So it's possible, but I don't know much about it to speak on it. Another Facebook user says, that's a thing too. My eyebrows fell out. Are you talking about your thyroid? Yeah. Disappearing eyebrows. You should get your thyroid checked from your doctor. And check your iodine levels. And ask your doctor how much iodine to take. So anyway, I'm going to post these links to these products and my discount code. You can get 10% off of everything. And I'll put them, I just shared them here, and then I'll add them in the description above. Another Facebook user says, I guess my takeaway is we need to stop starving ourselves for a thigh gap. Yeah, no, I don't care anything about thigh gaps, and food is my love language. So I don't do that. I love to eat. In fact, I'm borderline diabetic. I can't skip meals. I'll pass out. So that's not my personal problem. I can't not eat. Never occurred to me not to not eat. I love food. So if anybody is doing that, please don't do that to your body. But no, I take my nutrition very seriously and getting my body the things that it needs. So anyway, I am going to sign off. This has been really long. I want to thank you so much for all of your kindness and your support and your time for being here. I appreciate that you spend this time with me every week. I usually don't cry. It's usually not this emotional, and it's not usually this long, but this felt important to share. I was glad someone shared it with me. And if you have more questions about it, I'm happy to answer it. And thank you for all the virtual hugs and the support and all that. And anyway, so I'm having a hard time talking today. This is awkward for me, but thank you for your patience. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope this was a good midweek break for you. It always is for me, and I will see you next week without tears. Have a great week.